Welcome to Career Mantras, your friendly channel where we discuss the mantras for a very successful career in corporate life. In today's podcast, we are going to discuss about how do we make the team to care about the project. I'm sure many of you would have faced situations where you have done your best to motivate the team. You've given a lot of plans, you make a lot of ideas, but you will always find that sometimes none of this actually works. The primary reason is that, or one of the reasons, if not the primary one, is that the team sometimes doesn't care about the project, doesn't care about the outcomes. This is extremely crucial because whatever initiatives, whatever plans, whatever roadmaps we have, it works out only if the team cares about them. So let's see about how do we make this happen. And there could be many reasons. And primarily, we are dividing this into two. One is not within your control, which you can't do anything about it. You just live with it. And second is what is within your control. Things like their salary, the team members' personal situation, their health, or their travel constraints. Not much can be done about it. So we ignore it. But let's focus on things which is within your control. So there are three elements which, if you start acting on it, you will find that the team members care about the outcomes and you will see better productivity, higher motivation, self-organizing abilities, and things where you don't have to track things on a daily basis and things happen magically. A, clarity. B, participative environment. And three is the growth environment. Let's see one by one. Clarity. So one of the important things is that when a team member works in the project or in a program, he or she will need clarity about a lot of things, without which they don't understand why are they working, what are they working, or in fact, where are they working, right? But we need to break down and see what is our role in creating the clarity. Second, what are the elements in which we need to create clarity? One is the project and program objective of why are we doing this program. Second is a roadmap, meaning that, okay, what happens in the month A and month B, and then what happens after that, so that they're clear about how long is the journey and what comes in the way of the journey. Third is the success criteria. How do you know the program is successful? So that they orient towards that. Roles and responsibilities. Quite often, we'll note that there are multiple people, multiple layers. And when you do a program or a project which has multiple components and sub-projects, it is very crucial to define what will be the roles and responsibilities. And it is not just inside out and outside in. It's also important that we have to define why this program is important for the company. So that sometimes when you go on a long journey, it's crucial to define what happens to the company once we make it successful. Or the other way, what happens to the company if the program fails? And the ways of working, how should we work? Is it agile or waterfall? And how should we work with the client? And what kind of political and business context we work with? So that when you define the ways of working, it is based on the context in which you work. For an enterprise client, which has a lot of politics and a lot of layers and a lot of divisions, you have to work in a very different way versus a startup, which moves very fast, break things, and moves fast on. So that's like the summary of the items for which we have to define the clarity. Participative environment. An immediate question comes up, well, are they not supposed to do what we say as managers or senior management? The answer is big no. Sometimes you might get a temporary high when people nod their heads, and then you might imagine that they're doing what you say, but in reality, they actually don't really care about it. They don't bring their entire self, their talent, their skills to the table to resolve issues. So the key thing to make people participate is to focus on the decisions of how you take decisions and how do you include them. Again, I'm not saying that every decision has to be taken by the team members. No, but there are three levels in which you can define the decisions. One, for some decisions where you just inform them, and some decisions where you make them contribute to the inputs and the process of it. In some cases, you can give them the autonomy to take decisions. So, like examples like team structure is something which you might want them to contribute to say what's a very good team structure. Tech stack is something which you can make them take decisions with some boundaries and constraints. A scope increase, suddenly the client has asked for a greater scope and you have to take a certain decision to, let's say, add more people, it's just information. Meeting timelines and the decisions around that, the ways to achieve the meeting the timelines, it's more of a contributing where we expect people to contribute ideas. Similarly, for technical solutions and handling the customer, you can make it more contributory where they will add their inputs to it. So once you see that they have some stake in the decisions they make or the team makes, you will find that they'll be more engaged in many of the practical aspects of it. The last one is a growth environment. All said and done, every individual has to feel that they're growing in the project. What is in me is a question that every individual will ask at some point in time. Not every of the growth or the concerns can be handled by, oh, I will give you a 20% hike or a 40% hike. Financially, it's not viable. So you have to ensure from a technical point of view or from a process, from a domain point of view, has the individual grown in the last 6 months compared to how they were last 6 months before? And you can define in terms of have they become better in coding, better in analysis, better in communication, better in design, blah, blah, all that. And propose a supportive environment in terms of structured training or lunch and learn sessions, having a mentor, having one-on-ones and all that. One of the very powerful things which people might ignore, but which is extremely important, is that informal learning groups. Peer learning groups where they see the other peers excelling creates a very positive peer pressure for them to learn more. So net, making the people participate to giving them a growth environment and making them participate is extremely important for people to care about the outcomes. In all, it should start with clarity because when you even give them good learning environment, it's the goals and the clarity which defines the success of the book. Okay, all said and done, don't rush for making everything. Have a 30, 60, 90-day plans of what clarity will create and how will you reinforce that clarity, how will you make them participative, and how do you plan growth activities. So make a leisured a month, 2 months, or 3 months plans and execute them. If you like this video, subscribe to Career Mantras and please do share it with your friends and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.